Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Now, I'll tell you what. I predicted this slide in cryptocurrencies before it happened, when it was still on its way up. And I got it. I nailed it pretty much. I mean, it took a day longer than I thought to actually get here. It's here now, you know. Now, we've completed the first leg up in Bitcoin climbing its huge mountain to the top. I figure it's going to get there around Christmas time. Doesn't it always? You know, stuff like this. Like, here's the thing. You know, I have a big long Christmas holiday and everything. And that's when cryptocurrency will be at its peak, probably, right at Christmas time. That's what I'm guessing. You know, it'll be like 85,000 or something crazy like that, right? Maybe 110,000. Who knows how high, but it's going to be huge because crypto's starting to go mainstream. But here's the thing. We've completed our first leg. Now, I'm expecting it to go along for a period of time. I mean, it might be next week. It might be 2 days from now. It might be 3 weeks from now. It might be 2 months from now before it starts the next leg. I don't expect it to go below 6,500. And during this period in time, while we wait to head into the next leg, and I don't expect it to go too much above 8,000. I expect it to stay in this, basically in this range, about around $7,000, and slide along for a little while, and then it's going to heat up again. And next leg's going to take us up probably to around 14 or 15,000, maybe even 17, 18 before we go through another little like we're doing, just like we just did again. And then we'll go into the following leg. That following leg is going to be huge. But that's when it's really going to go into craziness, Crazyville. But anyway, that's what we got to look forward to. So let's start the charts right here and take a look at some articles. This article right here is, bullish or not, people who sold Bitcoin at the low are now buying back in. Someone bought Bitcoin back in 2013, sold out in 2014, and now they're back trying to get back in the game. That's according to a tweet by Jake Chervinsky. Apparently, the guy in question is a close friend. In Jake's opinion, this kind of stuff goes on to show the Bitcoin market has come a long way, and that's why it's attracting people who are already jumped out of the boat earlier on. Yeah, I know this is happening over and over again. This isn't the only case of this. There's probably literally thousands of them out there that actually, some of them said Bitcoin's going to die. Some of them are going to come into this market, and they're going to have to buy in when Bitcoin's a lot higher, you know? But they're going to have to change their mind in the end about it, because this is the new technology. This is where the internet's going. This is becoming the internet of money, you know? Now, this article here, is, let me close this page. It says, vicious cryptocurrency crash could supercharge a Bitcoin price rally to 20,000. Well, I don't think this next leg's going to take us to 20,000. I think it's going to take us to maybe 15,000, 14, 15,000, 17,000, something like that. But I don't think it's going to pass 20,000 on this next leg up. And then we're going to go along like we just did again. The following leg up is going to shoot right by 20,000. That's my opinion only, and I mean, do not take that as financial advice, but that's my opinion. Bitcoin's mammoth rally suffered a devastating setback on Friday when a $35 million sell order triggered a vicious flash crash. So there's a picture of the flash crash right there that we just went through. Pow! Went right down. Well below $7,000. You got to know, some people did get in down at these lows right here of about, what was it, 6,800. You know, some people did get in, and now you can see it's went back up and it's leveled off at around 70, well, a little bit lower than 7,000, around 7,000 more or less. It's leveled off now at this point, and so the excitement's over, folks. We can get back to H.O.D. Ellen, you know. What can I say? But that we had that flash crash. It says, Greenspan, a senior analyst at El Toro, gushed about the sudden pullback in a daily market commentary shared with CNN, stating that it was a picture perfect and could pave the way for Bitcoin price to blast toward an all-new time high of above $20,000. What could possibly be bullish about this crypto bloodbath? Greenspan explained that the sell-off would provide analysts with a better picture of the true nature of the recent Bitcoin price rally. Well, I'll tell you what the rally is all about. Bitcoin's the premier coin. It's the king, Bitcoin, and there's only 21 million of them to go around for the whole earth. That is what it's all about. And that's what, getting down to the bottom line, this is the new technology. Bitcoin's the premium coin of that technology. This technology is not going to go away. It's going to be implemented. And there's only 21 million of them to go around for everyone on Earth. That's just simple. That's what the rally's all about. Okay? So let's take a look at this article. Cryptocurrencies are finally going mainstream. So here's the thing. It goes on to talk about how JP Morgan here is leading the way with this new JPM coin later this year. Well, you know what? He's going to be bypassing the SWIFT system with this coin. You know what? The other banks are going to follow suit so fast it's going to make your head spin. That's how quick the other banks are going to follow suit on this. JP Morgan's leading the way. Just look at this. A few weeks later, IMF and World Bank jointly announced the launch of a learning coin, private blockchain and quasi-cryptocurrency designed to help them better understand the technology. No, they're testing. They're testing the waters. They're dipping their toe in the water. Yes, they want to better understand the technology so that they can utilize it, like JP Morgan. They're in a fight now. They're going to be in a fight. These banks are going to be in a fight to create these tokenized peg to the dollar kind of coin systems. They're in a race, quite literally, against the show I did yesterday where I talked about the corporations and stuff making these tokenized currencies. The banks don't want to get left in the dust. They're hurrying on this. Behind the scenes, they're scurrying around as fast as they can, trying to put something together and implement this and get it on the road. You can bet on it. The banks do not want to get left behind. This new technology, they're scared now. They're beyond scared. And what they're going to try to do is create a cryptocurrency system of their own that matches or parallels the Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. That's what they're trying to do, basically. And that's where they're going with this. But, the dollar's already digitized, and all they're doing is just creating more fiat. That's all they're doing. They're not doing anything new. The dollar's already digitized. They're just redigitizing it and putting it on a blockchain for their own use, So that's what's going on with that. Cryptocurrency is moving so fast, it actually, in my opinion, it could become a threat to the entire world's financial system because it's growing so exponentially fast and the potential that it actually has, and nobody's figured out any plan yet to get rid of it. It could disrupt everything, worse than anything out there. It could be the biggest global threat that we face in the 21st century. Cryptocurrency. Because we got a system in place now that feeds everyone. Okay, it ain't perfect. In fact, it's rather crappy. It's terrible. But it puts the food on your table. It's a system that's in place. And it runs on fiat. If you rip that up, it's just like your house. You might have an old shag carpet. You hate that old shag carpet and everything else, on the floor. But if you tear it all up, and you got no floor anymore in your home, and you got to have a floor. It takes time to get the new floor in. Well, that's the way with cryptocurrency. It takes time to get the cryptocurrency system to run on it If it was train tracks for a rail system, you got to get it in and get the tracks in place first before you can ride the trains. Well, that's the way. We're riding on the tracks of this old fiat monetary system right now. It's in place. It's feeding us. If you rip the tracks all up and try to put this new cryptographic monetary system in, and you try to do it too quick, it's going to leave a void. A void. Everything runs on the dollar. Supply chain, distribution, everything. Worldwide, the dollar's the premium currency, just like Bitcoin is the premium currency of these new currencies. The dollar's the premium currency of the old system. And if you tear that out too fast, well, I mean, you have to get things readjusted. It takes time to get systems readjusted to operate on cryptocurrency. What do you do in the meantime? If that comes too quick, it's just going to bring massive chaos. It's the way I see it anyway. And so we're going to have to watch which way this goes. But I can see Bitcoin leads the tendency toward hyperinflation. And so the quicker we move into Bitcoin, the quicker these fiat currencies are going to hyperinflate. Bitcoin forces them to hyperinflate because the value goes into Bitcoin. Bitcoin basically goes up. When Bitcoin goes up in value, that means people are buying Bitcoin. What are they using to buy them with? Well, simple. They're using dollars to buy Bitcoin with. Okay? So they take the dollars where it's been sitting in the bank or whatever, not moving. It's their liquidity. They have to use pure liquidity to buy Bitcoin, which Bitcoin is pure liquidity too. So they have to use they have to trade pure liquidity for pure liquidity. The dollar being pure liquidity and Bitcoin being pure liquidity. They're basically making a trade. But that dollar was sitting. That was their reserves. So taking their reserves, and they're considered Bitcoin actually better than the reserves that they have. Doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter whether it's an individual. It's just a person that's like maybe your neighbor. He goes to the bank. He gets $1,000 out and goes and buys Bitcoin with it. Well, that Bitcoin, that dollars was sitting in the bank, not moving. That was his savings. He went out now and bought Bitcoin with it. Well, he's not planning on selling those Bitcoins. He's going to HODL them. That's why he bought them. And everybody's the same way. Nobody in their right mind is going to sell Bitcoin when it's going up like 1,000%. Who's going to sell the stuff? In fact, transactions on the Bitcoin network are going to drop. Forget about all this stuff about it's not scalable. It doesn't need to scale. As the price goes higher and higher, the transactions, nobody's going to be sending them hardly. They're just going to be buying them, putting them in wallets. And that's where they're going to sit. And as the greed intensifies, as the price goes higher and higher, the more Bitcoin they're going to buy and shove in wallets. It's just a self-perpetuating cycle. The higher Bitcoin goes, the more of this dollars are brought out of bank accounts and stuff all everywhere to buy these Bitcoins with. And now those dollars, once they buy the Bitcoin with the dollars, those dollars are now in circulation. Where they were sitting in the bank account. Now they're in circulation. So, if Bitcoin starts to rise into the trillions, well, suddenly you're going to have trillions of dollars being brought out of savings and going into circulation. It's going to speed up the velocity of money. It's going to speed up spending. And it's going to speed up dollars chasing goods and services. And as the price of the dollar goes down, because of this, and because inflation's going up, this is only going to intensify as more and more people get the idea, hey, you know what? I don't have any faith in this fiat currency anymore. I'm going to buy Bitcoin. And that's what it means, Bitcoin going mainstream. Mainstream where everybody starts buying it. If this happens too fast, heaven forbid. Because you can't tear up this old financial system and replace it too quickly. without putting something in its place as some sort of a stopgap measure, and there is no. There's no redundant system in place as a stopgap measure to get us across this bridge. So basically, it's like tearing the bridge out from under us, and that's what Bitcoin can do. It can quite literally tear the bridge out from under us through hyperinflation, which I believe the dollar was going to do regardless of Bitcoin. But this can speed up the process a lot. A lot. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next show. Bye-bye.